What's up, everybody? It's your boy Reggie Casual, friend of casual.co, and as you can see, we are outside. We're gonna go ahead and get season 4 started the right way. Now, you're out here, it's loud, it's madness, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you 5 tips on shopping, fashion shopping here in Tokyo. But I'm not gonna give you old run-of-the-mill kind of stuff. I'm just gonna give you some of the hidden stuff. Some of the stuff you might not think of when you come here. Anyway, that's what we're doing right now, so let's go ahead and get it. That's next on the stage. Alright, so rule number 1 is basically forget about fast fashion. Now that may seem like a no-brainer to some, but sometimes people come here and they make a little video and they're like, yo, I'm shopping in Japan, and really what they did is they went to H&M or Forever 21 or one of those other fast fashion retailers. Yo, don't go fast fashion retailing while you are in Japan. They don't offer anything different. You're not really shopping in Japan if you do. I know that seems like, again, a no-brainer, but a lot of people just end up coming here and asking where to go. Best thing I could suggest, research a little bit before you come. There's places like La Ferrée, there's places like BUYEE that offer, maybe a cheaper price point. And of course, there's a whole bunch of thrift stores, which we're gonna get into a little bit later. But that's rule number 1. Forget about fast fashion. Just forget about it. Let's go on to number 2. Alright, so tip number 2 for shopping in Tokyo is go in the cut. Now, one of the things that you'll learn once you drop in Tokyo is that there's all these alleyways, there's all these places that you can go in these small little streets that most people miss. And I'm about to tell you right now, about 2/3 of what's happening in Japan, about 2/3 of the great fashion places, all the great stores are behind the buildings. What I like to say is that Tokyo is all about cake. Like, it's about cake. Sounds weird, but it is about cake. Basically, everything that you see on the outside is frosting, but the heart of Japan lies behind all of those buildings. That's where you get to see everything, be that food, be those clothes, just great, just spots, vintage spots. That's where you're gonna wanna go. So don't stay on the main streets. That's where a lot of people get in trouble. Go around these corners, go in the cut, and you can find some fantastic finds in any genre of fashion, but also pretty much everything that's just great about this city. Now, one of the most important tips for shopping in Tokyo, go vintage shopping. Now, if you are not vintage shopping here in Tokyo, then you're not going shopping at all. Let that be known. I'm setting that in stone. If you are not going vintage shopping, you are not shopping in Tokyo. And the reason for that is unlike every other country, or at least the one that I'm from America, most vintage shops in Japan aren't based in just a whole bunch of stuff thrown everywhere. In fact, there are stores that are themed out. All right, so whether you're into a hip hop theme or rock theme or grunge theme or 80s theme or 90s theme or any type of theme that you can think of, they probably have it in Tokyo, in Japan. And you don't want to miss out on those places, especially if you are focused in on a particular style. So when you're here, make sure that you go vintage shopping. You can go to the bigger places like Kenji, or you can go to the most themed out places like a Pinnap or like a Burbergen, or you can go to places like Koenji or Shimokitazawa that are just cities filled with vintage fashion. Just secondhand, vintage, whatever. Or you can go high end and go to places like Ragtag, 2nd Street, or you can find some great finds for streetwear at places like Brand Collect. There's really, the possibilities are endless. So make sure that you at least go secondhand, vintage shopping while you're here. It's one of the best experiences that I have ever engaged in. Seriously, go vintage shopping. Go secondhand. Not joking. That's like number 1 thing you should do. If you're from the West like me, or from any other country that kind of employs the Western style, then you're probably used to going to one place and buying all of your stuff. For example, say you go to a mall and you usually just stay there for a couple of hours, but Japan, particularly Tokyo, forces you to go to different places and they may be far apart. So you gotta kind of employ this walking mentality. You're going to be walking in one big mall, and that is the street. Don't just get caught up in the bright lights. Go ahead, discover a little bit, find out some stuff that's only available in Japan, be patient with it, focus, and you should be good to go. You still got one more tip to go, so let's go ahead and check that out. And the final tip for shopping in Tokyo, what do you do? What do you do? Everybody wants to know. And again, it's another one that has everything to do with you, and that is be fearless. If you know anything about the casual, you had to know something like that was coming up. Again, I can't tell you all the best places to shop because that really depends on what you are looking for. But what's great about Japan is that you can be fearless in whatever choices in fashion that you make. So when I mention things like going to a vintage store that's themed out instead of just going to your old run-of-the-mill regular place, you're gonna go to those themed out places because you are going to be doing 100% of your style. And there is no place like Japan when it comes to going 100% into your style. So that's the last tip. Be fearless. Go and do what you want to do. And don't be afraid of what your friends might say, because that's the worst advice that I can give you. Don't do that. Come to Japan, be fearless, and you'll have a great time shopping. So that's it. No more speeches. Unless, of course, there is one more speech. No, there isn't. It's just the ending. So go ahead and give a thumbs up or a like if you liked this video and you want to see more like it or any other top fives or outside stuff. Just go ahead and let that be known in the comments. But most importantly, keep it locked right here for all of your info on international street fashion and culture from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. And I'll see you guys in a minute.